Hi, I'm Lisa from Lisa's Sanctuary, answering a question today that I get about dating after experiencing domestic violence or a toxic relationship. And I get a lot of questions, asking around when is the right time to start dating again, or people who feel really anxious, really hyper vigilant in new relationships, especially if they're coming across as a healthy relationship and the person that you're now dating is, behaving in a normal sort of respectful manner. If you're not used to that, it can feel really foreign and you can start to question your own judgment, the trust in yourself, and whether those things that you're worried about are really red flags, or are they you just, panicking about things, or just getting a little bit overthinking what the behaviors are and what they say and what they mean. So there's a lot that goes into dating after domestic violence or a toxic relationship. And I guess I want to say two things about dating after DV, and that's I am in a much different space every year that I, heal and grow and move forward. So in the first 12 months, after I left my marriage, so that was my first relationship with abuse in it. It took me 3 months before I even really left the house. Other than going to work or going grocery shopping, I didn't go out anywhere. I was too scared. I used to take my phone to the washing line with me. So there was absolutely no way I was interested in dating. I wasn't interested in a partner. I don't think I was even interested in being in a relationship ever again. I was pretty broken, pretty scarred after that one. But then what normally happens is, especially if you've experienced abuse and trauma, we can start to feel, it can go two ways, and I experienced both of them. The first was I just wanted a partner. I wanted someone to support me and love me and care for me and, build with me, just, create a good life together. I wanted that. But I looked for love in all the wrong places, in all the wrong people, when I should have been focusing on me. And I thought that I was ready to start dating again, but in hindsight, absolutely not. I don't think I was even ready to look at a relationship for probably 2 or 3 years after I left the domestic violence relationship. And that's because there's so much that goes on in those first couple of years. If you've left a relationship or escaped a relationship which is long term, which has been, a significant chunk of your time, of your life, then there is a readjustment period where you have to get used to being single again and not having another person to, vent to or share some time with, sit and watch a movie with, do things together. There is an adjustment period. If you've got kids and property, then there needs to be, things need to be worked out. A divorce is still quite an emotional time, regardless of whether the separation was mutual or you had decided to do it. It's an emotional time to really cut those ties, to go through property settlement and even custody of children. Family court is quite a process. There's a lot that goes into it. It can drag on for lots of time, for many months and even years after a separation. So there's all those practical things that need to go into it, that need to be arranged, and there's always going to be emotions present. There are emotions you need to work through, there's grieving that needs to be done, there's healing that needs to be done. So there's lots of things that you can do to focus on yourself before adding another person, that other element, to your life. It can complicate things, and that's probably not the advice you want to hear, but that's what it is. There was another part to that where my ex-husband had told me so many times that nobody else would ever want me, that I wanted a relationship as a bit of a, F you, somebody does want me. That guy did give me his number. When I went out, I did get chatted up. I wanted that silent victory of, you were wrong. people, people do want to spend time with me and, maybe even want a relationship with me. But I did look for love in all the wrong places. I accepted far less than I would now. I absolutely put myself in positions of making stupid and ugly decisions and choices. There's a lot that I'm not proud of from after my time, after leaving a relationship, because I was so all over the place, which is absolutely normal after you've experienced trauma and when you're going through a huge life change. The second part of dating after DV is I now have much different standards and I have much different values than what I did previously. I'm 10 years out of that first relationship. It was around 2.5 years after I escaped my marriage before I met my second partner and was in about a 2-year relationship with him. That one did turn abusive and violent as well. So I went through a bit of a process in leaving him where I was just so embarrassed that I had found myself in another relationship like that. I was ashamed. I was really ashamed that I had ignored the warnings that I had gotten from other people who knew him and from his ex. I ignored those warnings and I felt really ashamed, embarrassed. I felt so many feelings over that. I felt really stupid because I thought I'd done my work and I thought I told myself I will never ever put up with this again. And then I was there because, as we know, domestic violence can creep in. It's insidious. It is a pattern over time. There are so many different complicated and complex facets involved in domestic violence. And so when I had left that relationship and then started focusing back on me again, I, realized that the person that I wanted to be in a relationship with eventually, for the last couple of years, I have not been in a place where I am either ready or able, just due to work commitments and my children and my own emotions. I've been on dates, but I really don't think I was in a position to be able to share my life with somebody just yet. And I'm still working through things of, I've been living in my house as the only parent. I do have adult children, so I'm not the only adult here, but I have been the only one in my house for years, and I don't know how I would go with somebody else in my space, in my routine and things like that. So that's some stuff that I work through when it comes up for me. But I wanted to the person that I eventually want to settle down with and share my life with and create a future with, I need to be the person that I'm looking for. So I don't believe that it's enough to just write out a list and manifest this person into your life. I believe you have to be that sort of person. Write out a list of what you are looking for in a partner, loyal, respectful, able to express feelings, family oriented, financially stable. You can put looks in there, healthy. It's your list. You get to create it. But when you look at that list, really look at it and ask yourself, am I that person? Would I be happy dating somebody with my qualities and characteristics and my values and my ambitions and my goals? So really do that inner work. I know everybody says it and I know everybody hates it because they just want it to be fixed, but you're not broken. You're growing, you're healing, you're learning, you're expanding, and you get to decide as you journey through life what you do want and what you don't want. And the trick is in believing that you do deserve what you do want and that you're allowed to have it. But make that list, become that person. It's not about looking for that perfect person. It's about becoming the person that you would want to spend time with and create with and spend your future with and have your kids around. Be that type of person. And then the right person will come along when you are ready and when you're able to give as much as you can receive in a relationship. So I'm Lisa from Lisa's Sanctuary. Ask me any questions about anything really to do with what I talk about, and I can share from example, I share from my personal experience, and I share my healing journey in the hopes of contributing to yours.